Warhammer the End Times Vermintide originally launched for PCs on October 23, 2015. Now, a year later, it's getting ported to the PS4 with the game's DLC packed in from day one. With that tidbit out of the way, let's get to the review at hand. Essentially, this is a Left 4 Dead style game, but instead of fighting hordes of zombies, there's an evil race of creepy anthropomorphic rats known as the Skaven. It takes place in the Warhammer universe, which to me was a surprise since I thought everything within this world was set in the future with Space Marines and Orcs, but that's just because I've only played Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine back in 2011. That has nothing to do with this review, really, but I thought it was an interesting point to clarify. I am only one man trying to cover a sea of video games after all. Anyway, the game takes place in the city of Uberstrike, where 5 travelers have come together to stop the Skaven horde: Barden, Carillion, Victor, Sienna, and Marcus. They each have a melee weapon and a ranged weapon which consumes ammo, except for Sienna, who wields a fire staff. There are axes, swords, hammers, guns, and bows that all operate differently, with some being fast but weak, and others being strong but slow. For example, Marcus's default hammer smashes a good area of enemies but takes a while to swing. Melee weapons can be charged for strong attacks, items found throughout levels can be selected via the D-pad, such as a healing potion, and certain heroes have skills as well. Most characters can defend, but Barden's shield will hold out longer. Sienna can summon a circle of flames, but needs time to recharge. Victor can whip out another gun. Carillion can zoom in with her bow, and Marcus can use melee with his gun. However, the only hero that feels like they truly have a perk is Sienna with her flame ring. Ultimately, they kind of all play the same though, albeit with minute alterations, and comes down to aesthetic differences when choosing who to play, which is fine, but disappointing as it doesn't give the characters enough variety. In the campaign, you can group up with 3 other players, be it random or in a customized match, through a handful of levels. These missions include protecting a wizard's library to helping out a caravan from monsters. All in all, it involves 4 people wailing on hordes of disgusting rats who give zombies a run for their money as they're faster and seem more intelligent. They go down pretty easily, but when you're surrounded it can be tricky. I often found myself, even with others, outmatched by the waves of Skaven as Vermintide emphasizes melee weapons rather than range. There's definitely a few balancing issues at times. Be that as it may, I never found myself frustrated. To me, the fun isn't completing the game in a single linear fashion, but like any good multiplayer match in, say, Battlefield, my enjoyment came from hopping online with some strangers and destroying as much vermin as possible for quick sessions. That said, the process did become old fast, even with the RPG elements. Whether a mission ends in success or failure, you still get experience. Once leveled, it'll grant bonuses to the bar hub, such as unlocking a forge for weapon customization or creating new slots for accessories. Levels are spread throughout all characters, and the only thing that is locked to a certain hero is loot, which is acquired through random dice games rewarded from success. It gave Vermintide a good progression loop, but not enough to elongate my playtime. Warhammer the End Times Vermintide is a satisfying Left 4 Dead experience, bringing with it some good ideas to the table. The gameplay is solid, connections are fast, and the banter between characters is cheesy yet charming. It lacks polish and a craving to stay with it for a prolonged amount of time, but sometimes fun doesn't have to last forever in order to merit a good game, and that's really all there is to it.
I'll cut to the chase and tell it straight. I need you and everyone else to help out, or we're all doomed.
Did you know that was a ReActionExaminer video? If you liked it, you should subscribe to me to keep up with everything that I'm doing. Also, if you have some other interests, like sex for example, check out Tomops, which is a comedy sex podcast thing wherein my best friend and I check out the weird and abnormal and the erotic. And of course, you should support me on Patreon because, hey, I want to make the channel better, and I want your help to do so. Plus, if you want to check out my writing, check out Game Jerk, where I have archives and new stuff for all projects, okay? You can find all the stuff and more in the description with the links below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.